that was going to be one of my next questions is, are you pro-choice?
Okay, that one's another loaded one.
Okay.
Because here you go. I'm pro-Constitution, and the Constitution does not say one way or the other.
Yeah.
The federal government is to uphold the Constitution, nothing else. If you give the federal government too much power, even though you feel like you're winning on that particular item, they're going to strip something from you from somewhere else. So my opinion is not necessarily, it's very neutral. I like the fact that states have a right to say one way or the other based on the masses of the people within the state, because that's a democracy. You know, I mean, that really is what a democracy is. What I don't like is the false narrative that's spilled out from one side or the other, like what I was telling you about, what you see on TV, you know. You'll hear, you have the far right, then you have conservatives, then you have independents, moderates, and then the far left. Okay, everything is controlled by the far right and the far left, and they're constantly arguing. And the masses of us in the middle have no say-so. Whenever you talk to conservatives, a lot of times they say conception is whenever the heart beats because of some biblical reasons, right? And then you talk to independents, they're kind of split, right? And then you talk to the moderates, they're very similar, but they're more lenient. But there's common ground there. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because I myself have several health disorders. One's a blood disorder that makes it so medication, if I were to get pregnant, medication is extremely expensive if I were not to have health care.
Yeah, but that's a no-brainer.
So that's why, because I worry with it becoming more universal that pro-life, that people that might struggle with similar health conditions might not have the opportunity to choose.
But those people that believe that, they're not truly pro-life.
Yeah.
See what I mean? Like they're not really
purpose.
pro-life, because if you were actually pro-life, that would be for both lives, the mother and the child.
Yeah, I think most of the time when it's that far in, they already have a health problem to where they're not going to make it outside of the birth.
No, and that's understandable. Yeah. That's very understandable. But atopical pregnancy or tubal pregnancy, you're not going to make it that far anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't understand why that's even part of the argument with some people, because they clearly don't have an understanding. I mean, within a few months, something's got to happen or the mother's going to die. You know, and the fact that somebody would say that it should take its course just shows how ignorant they are. You know, so I'm very neutral. Like, I understand both sides from a religious standpoint, but I also understand the scientific standpoint of it. And honestly, the only way that we're ever going to unite on it is we got to find some common ground. But that's with everything. It doesn't matter what it is. That is with everything. There has to be some common ground somewhere. Because if not, half the nation's going to be happy, the other half's going to be pissed off. And we cannot be a healthy nation if we don't start finding common ground on a few things.
I agree. I think that a lot of people don't understand that, like, I think the Bill of Rights has the separation of church and state, and so their religion shouldn't play much of a role in that decision if it's somebody else's life. But I agree that it's very divided over something that shouldn't be as divided as it is.
Well, politics should never be spoken to church anyway.
Yeah.
Like
separation of church and state.
Absolutely. If a church stands up and talks politics like they are now, especially on the East Coast, and they push a politician, their 501c3 status or tax exempt status should be taken away immediately, because that's what law requires. And they should have to start paying taxes. They're not going to like me for that, but that is going to happen, because I'm tired of it myself. As a Christian, I'm tired of it, because they make us look like fools. Because we don't believe in all that crap that they're saying. That's not what we believe in.